Hello everybody and welcome to A Study in Celluloid. I'm your host, Spencer Henderson, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Hail Caesar, directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. Hail Caesar stars Josh Brolin as Eddie Mannix, who is a studio fixer whose primary purpose for the movie studio is to keep actors in line. And this proves to be a difficult task when one of the biggest movie stars, Baird Whitlock, played by George Clooney, is kidnapped, and a ransom is demanded by the kidnappers.
Technicians and actors and top-notch artistic people are working hard to bring to the screen our biggest release of the year. Hail Caesar is a prestige picture with one of the biggest stars in the world, Baird Whitlock.
A truth we could see if we had, but... if we had... Faith! Faith! Cut!
Mr. Mannix,
What's up?
the director can't find Baird Whitlock.
Somebody slipped it under my door.
We have your movie star. Gather $100,000 and await instructions. Who are we? The future.
I will not be doing spoilers in this review because it's a new movie and I don't think that people should do spoilers in their movie reviews unless the movie has been out for a while. So this will be a completely spoiler-free review, so have no fear if you're planning on watching Hail Caesar. But I will tell you, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It's not a perfect film, but it is a very, very entertaining one. It has the Coen's classic signature style of storytelling. And I've noticed something that with a lot of their comedies, in fact almost all their comedies, the style of the way they tell the stories, it's very convoluted. It goes so many different directions in a very breakneck pace, and it has a lot of fun with the ways that it goes in some of these directions. It gets very zany, it gets very outlandish in some of these scenes, and Hail Caesar's no exception. I feel like Hail Caesar is almost the Coens kind of respectfully paying homage to a lot of the great films of old. I got a very Ben-Hur vibe from the film Hail Caesar, which is a fake film inside this movie that stars George Clooney's character. I think that this movie introduced some pretty classic Coen brothers characters. And actually, one of my new favorite Coen brothers characters is Hobie Doyle, who's played expertly, in my opinion, by Alden Ehrenreich, I believe his name is. And he was phenomenal in this movie. He plays kind of this cowboy who is cast in this dramatic role in this movie. And I kind of got the vibe that they were almost... It probably inspired to tell that story by when John Wayne was cast as Genghis Khan.
You do well, Kumlik, for while I have fingers to grasp a sword and eyes to see, your treacherous head is not safe on your shoulders, nor your daughter in her bed.
It's such a fun movie, so many great characters. I also think Josh Brolin did a phenomenal job in his role, and I thought that the movie, that's kind of what it dealt with, what it had to say through Josh Brolin's characters. There's lots of questions about humanity and existence in this movie, and we feel those questions through Josh Brolin's character, who is kind of a man who's wondering what he loves to do, where he belongs in this world. And like I said, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but I actually found myself in some scenes with his character moved by the actions that he took throughout this movie. Another great performance in this movie is George Clooney as Baird Whitlock, who's this kind of bumbling movie actor who is kidnapped, and there were some pretty great moments with George Clooney in it. I didn't love him in Burn After Reading, the Coen brothers movie. I thought that he was a little bit too, kind of animated in that movie, but here I thought that performance kind of like worked, the sort of animated, almost overacting kind of from George Clooney, and it seems to be his style with working with the Coen brothers, is that he is a very animated actor in a lot of their movies, and it differs from a lot of his other performances. But here in this universe that they built, I felt that it worked very, very well. I do think that a couple of my flaws with this movie, and let me get into those real quick. I will say I did enjoy this movie a lot more than I didn't. However, I think that one of the things that's going to turn people off, and it didn't necessarily turn me off because I think a lot of it was intentional, is that the movie kind of jumps through tones a ton. And a lot of it comes through showing scenes from these movies that these actors are acting in. And it might be a little bit jarring for viewers watching scene to scene, and it almost feels like sometimes it's a little bit too much of an homage to these older movies of the golden age of Hollywood. But those are some of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, were the ones that showed this, but I felt like at points that got in the way of this story, which, like I said, I don't even know if that I could count that as a flaw. I just think that it's gonna get in the way of the narrative for some people, because this narrative does involve lots of complex themes. And also, there was one storyline in this movie that I felt was a little bit overdone. I still think it made for an entertaining scene, but I don't really know what the point of the storyline was. And like I said, I can't get into this without talking about spoilers, so I'll just leave it at that. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed Hail Caesar. I thought it had some pretty fantastic scenes in there. There were moments where I was just dying laughing. Probably one in particular is a moment where Hobie Doyle is attempting to be a dramatic actor. When you see the scene, you'll know what I'm talking about.
It seems Allegra's a no-show, which is simply a bore. But I'll partner you in bridge.
Would that it were so simple.
Cut.
It's phenomenal. It's hilarious. And as I said, I really, really enjoyed the story that this told, even though at points it felt like the story got a little bit distracted. I'd give Hail Caesar an 8 out of 10. I think that it is an excellent Coen Brothers movie. It's better than most mainstream comedies. It has a lot more on its mind. It has a lot more to say, and I think that audiences should go see this because I think there are scenes that will connect with them, and I think it's just different enough that you'll never be bored in this movie. So yeah, go check it out. I think that you'll enjoy it. I think if you're a Coen Brothers fan, it's essential that you go see this movie. And go see it as soon as possible, because these guys need more support. Movies like this need to be more popular so that we can start seeing more movies like this. If you like this video, go ahead and click like if you want, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought about Hail Caesar in the comments section. And coming to you from Colorado, I'm Spencer Henderson, and this is A Study in Celluloid.